Good speech.
Mr. Speaker.
I call Paul Eagle.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, it'll be 10 minutes better, put it that way. So, can I just... Matt, I do the big around here, not you. You're the king, not the big. Now, look, can I just thank the humble Minister Martin for this piece of work, taking it through its journey on the third reading and getting it to where it is today. I said when I spoke on this bill a bit earlier that this was the making things a whole lot easier bill, and there were some things that were hot and things that were not. But just before I do that, and I want to just divert, if I may, Mr. Speaker, there was this outrageous allegation about a colleague of mine, actually the member for Ohariu, by the National Party list member based in Ohariu. And the good news for the list member is that I've contacted the Electoral Commission for the 2019 review, and I'm happy to give Seatoun up. So if the seat becomes not Ohariu Belmont, but Ohariu Seatoun, I'm happy. I lose those $2 million homes where the member lives, and he can be then part of the Ohariu electorate. So I'm very happy for that to happen. He may have won by 1,051 votes. Maybe he'll win by 3,051 votes. But I'm sure the National Party list member based there can have a wee celebration. Look, what's positive about this is what others have already said. This is a modernisation bill. We've heard about digital transformation. I'm interested in what others have talked about too in terms of that digital divide, and I'm thankful that we've had a local authority in the last 9 years who have funded a service for those who are older, those from ethnic communities, new migrants and refugees here in South and East Wellington, and those who are poor and don't have a lot. But we funded, the local authority funded a service called Smart Newtown. They're only metres from my electorate office, where people could go for free and learn about the basics, the 101 of using a computer, and whether it was just switching it on, learning how to use a mouse, getting used to a keyboard, a monitor, and just going through the steps of learning the basics to become, I guess, technologically more advanced in communicating just with the basics of life. And for some it meant talking to sons and daughters, for some it meant connecting with home, and that home may be in Somalia, Ethiopia, or further away than that. And for others it was just simply the result of having to do basic things, because, Mr. Speaker, in the time, in a short time, in the last couple of years, I mean, 3 bank branches have closed in my electorate, and there's this assumption suddenly that although 91% of Kiwis know how to use the internet, that's actually okay. But that's actually not okay. And that's where this is the what's not, is because we need to make sure that that piece of work gets done, so those 9% of people have the same opportunity as everyone else. And I know that hopefully that work, led by Minister Martin, will ensure that the local authority isn't given another hospital pass to pick up the tab, but government will. I also want to talk about the fact that this, I said in my earlier speech, that this was part of the Better Public Services agenda. The previous government had a 10-point plan. When the member for Otaki challenged me when I said it was almost a failure, I said, no, I stand by those words, almost. And so I did some research. I went back and read it. Not that anyone's too interested in it really, but with the 10 sections there, I managed to find that actually the targets haven't been met. In fact, they've changed, because earlier this year the targets were changed. Now, Mr. Speaker, I thought I was speaking for 10, but obviously it's 5. I'll keep going. Keep going? All right. All right. I'll keep going. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order.
Point of order, Barbara Kuriger.
This is down as a split call.
Yes, I do
Yes.
know that. The member's time has expired.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Point of order.
Point of order, the Honourable Chris Hipkins.
Mr. Speaker, where the call is a split call, it does rely on somebody being willing to take the other half of the call. Otherwise, the member who has the call can continue for the full 10 minutes.
Yes.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. We do have someone prepared to take.
Yeah, I take the member's point, but we have a call. I call
Speaker.
Erica Stanford.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to be rude. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.